Hi, I'm just going to go over the summer school packet really quick. So the first assignment is called Which Would Fit Me Best. So you're going to think of 3 jobs. It says in the area you're studying. You can do for any CTE classes. So if you're going to go for mine, culinary arts, obviously. So you'll think of 3 jobs in the culinary area. So you could say a chef, you could say a waitress, you could say a baker, anything like that. But if you're in mechanics, you can choose 3 like that, anything in an area you're studying. So you'll write those 3 jobs across the top, and you're going to tell me 3 ways that these jobs are alike. So what are 3 ways that a chef, a baker, and a waitress are alike? Next, you'll tell me 3 ways that those jobs are different. And finally, you'll tell me which one you think you would enjoy the most and why. So that one's totally in your opinion. You're just going to answer for one at the very end. The rest of them, you need 3 reasons. Okay, the second assignment is social media. So you will think about your social media. It's saying that a lot of employers and colleges are going to look through your social media before they decide to hire you. So for the first question, it says, how do you think social media can prevent or assist you in getting the job of your dreams? So how do you think that your social media could be good or bad for helping you get a job? Second, you're going to look at your social media and tell me how many and what types of accounts you have, and then how much time you think you spend online. Number 3, it asks what the positive and negative qualities of the following social media platforms are. So it's asking for the positive and negatives of Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and YouTube. So you have to answer for each one of those what you think the good parts are and the bad parts are. And finally, you're going to look at your own social media. So open up your Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have, just one of them, whatever has a news feed, and you're going to browse your news feed for 1 minute. So you'll be thinking about looking at your personal news feed as an employer. So how do you think that how you viewed the people on your timeline based on what they post? So just write a few sentences about what you noticed. If you were an employer looking at that, do you think it would be good? Do you think it would look bad? And are there things that would help or hurt the job opportunities that you could have? Then we have the hand washing activity. So there's an article that you will read about when and how to wash your hands. We talked about this a lot in my class, but it's really important right now with everything we've got going on. So this is, it'll cover all the guidelines the CDC lays out, that kind of thing. So in your own words, I want you to write what the guidelines are. So it's going to tell you all those things. It's going to tell you when you should be doing it, how long you should be doing it, and you need to write all of those out in your own words. Don't just copy. Okay, next we have cook a meal. So you're going to be cooking a meal for yourself or your family, and I want you to do it with the permission of your parent or your guardian. Don't just go in the kitchen and take over. So when the meal's complete, you're going to write out a paragraph describing what you made. So if I made macaroni and cheese, I would write out what macaroni and cheese is and the ingredients that are needed for that. So for macaroni and cheese, you need macaroni, you need all kinds of things. I want to know what ingredients you used. And you're going to write a second paragraph on how you made it. So what are the steps it took for you to make that dish? And what tools did you use? Did you need a pot? Did you need a pan? Those kind of things are what I want to know. And if your parent or guardian doesn't want you to cook a meal, that's fine. Then I want you to write what you would have made and do the exact same thing. Tell me what ingredients you would have needed, what the dish would have been. Then tell me what tools you would have used and how you would have made it. So the same thing. Next is called processed foods. You're going to read an article about processed foods. It's just going to tell you about what they are, that kind of thing. I want you to write 2 paragraphs about what you learned about the article. I want you to talk about what processed foods are, how they fit into a healthy diet. So if I'm eating healthy, am I eating only processed foods? Am I limiting my processed foods? That kind of thing. And then what you can do to limit the amount of processed foods you eat. And it will talk about all of that in the article. So I want you to write that in your own words, the things that you learned from the article. And then lastly, we have school spirit ice cream. So it says that you are, you've been hired, you're going to pretend you've been hired to be a food scientist, and you're specializing in product development. So you're making something new. You're going to be working on an ice cream. So it wants you to brainstorm. It wants you to list all of the flavors of ice cream that you can think of. So it wants you to think of the actual ice cream, not the foods mixed in. So it's not asking about like chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, because that's stuff that's mixed in. It's asking about like vanilla, chocolate, the flavors of the actual ice cream. And then second, it wants you to list all the items that can be mixed in. So the examples it gives you are fudge, peanut butter cups, like I just said, cookie dough, anything you can mix into ice cream, just all the ones you can think of. Then it says you've been hired to develop an ice cream to represent your school. So think about Temple High School. Think of your mascot, your school name, and your school colors as you brainstorm. So we are the Wildcats, and our colors are blue and white. So this ice cream is going to be sold at the concession stand at school functions, graduation, and sporting events. So you're really going to want it to represent you. So it says as an example, Utah State University is located in Logan, Utah, and they developed an ice cream at their school creamery using the university's colors, which were blue, and their mascot, Aggie, for their school ice cream. So what will the base flavor of your ice cream be? The actual ice cream flavor. Don't think about the mix-ins yet. So do you want it to be vanilla? Do you want it to be, so whatever you want it to be. But think about like our school colors when you're thinking about what you want the flavor of your base to be. And what are your mix-ins going to be? So this is the part where you're adding things in there. Again, be thinking about your school colors. Think about our mascot. Remember, it's Temple High School is what you're trying to make this ice cream represent. And then finally, what are you going to name your ice cream? This is a place I really want you to get creative. Think of something. Don't just say blueberry ice cream with cookie dough. I want you to say like Temple High School something, I don't know, or Wildcat Wildness, something that is Temple High School related, because again, you're making this about our school. And that is all of it. Have a good summer, guys.